Hello friends and welcome back to our homestead. This is middle of the winter and that means that cold and flu season is upon us. And even though we have 24-hour pharmacies these days available, it doesn't mean that when someone doesn't feel well, the last thing you want to do is just jump in a car and drive to get your medicines, right? Plus, the things that we're going to be discussing today are not exactly often sold in the pharmacies. These are going to be the natural support for our bodies. So as any good homesteader, mom and a wife, my job is to be prepared. And that's what I'm going to suggest the same to you. But I'm going to preface by giving a big disclaimer. This is not medical advice. This is not diagnosis or treatment. You should always talk to your provider, whoever that may be, whether it's a medical doctor or an herbalist, because they could be contraindications for you personally or for your family member. People have different allergies, different medical conditions. People take different medications, and these herbs that I'm going to be discussing possibly could be counteracting with the medications that you're on. So people often write to me and say, Lilia, I am taking such a medication. Can I take certain herb? And I usually do not answer those comments. Why? Because it is not good practice to do so. I am not your provider. I don't know your history. I don't know your story. So it is best that you talk to your provider. Okay? But what I'm going to be doing today, you ask? Well, today I have a big half-a-gallon jar where I'm going to be putting together different herbs to support the body during cold and flu. Okay. Another little explanation, the difference between cold and the flu. There are differences. Cold is obviously the symptoms are annoying, but they're much milder. Okay, congestion, head cold, mild temperature that will last a day or two. It usually comes on slower, usually starts with little sniffles and a sore throat. And the symptoms are much milder. Okay, even the temperature, when it does rise, it's usually not high temperature. However, flu is influenza. Okay, both are viral, but flu is influenza and it is much more severe. It comes down suddenly. It comes out heavy, usually higher fevers, severe headaches, body aches, much longer and much more difficult to overcome. So the very vulnerable, like little babies or the elderly or the immunocompromised, are the high risk group. And so flu is not fun, so neither is the cold. And because we are so much indoors these days and eating lots of sugar because of all of the holidays, and we're not moving much and we're not getting enough vitamin D because there's not much sun outside, we are more susceptible to getting cold and flus and pass it around. So please do good hand hygiene because this is all passed by droplets. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera a little closer and I'm going to show you the different herbs that I'm going to be mixing together to make this tea. And I will show you how I like to make the tea, or as I call it, infusion. You know, when you're not feeling well, you usually feel pretty crummy and kind of sluggish. And some people feel a little bit even cranky. That's your immune system responding to your illness. Okay, so everyone responds differently. Some people just want to sleep because they're feeling depressed, and other people kind of feel miserable and they want to fight with you. Again, that's your immune system. So to help us that out, I'm going to use two ingredients right away. It's going to be lemon balm. I love lemon balm, not just because it's really good for anxiety and panic attacks, but also it's good to help you to relax when you are going through cold and flu. So because this is a home remedy, I am not measuring anything. Okay, I am just going with the feel, and I'm trying to use the same amounts of all of the herbs. So like I said, I'm going to put a good healthy pinch in here of lemon balm. I'm going to mix them all together. All right, then also to this I'm going to be adding chamomile. Chamomile is great for, you know, a little nausea, a little upset stomach, but it also helps you to relax and sleep, and kind of like when you need to fight that viral nasty situation. Again, I'm going to be putting a big healthy pinch together. All right, so that's going to go in here. Oh, I want to show you something else that might be interesting for you guys to know. If you have followed me in the past, you know that I talk about herbs and how dry herbs after 2 years are no good. So let me show you the difference. So I just had to renew, freshen up my chamomile, because let me show you the chamomile that I'm throwing away right now. So this chamomile I've had for 2.5 years now. Look at the difference. So this is the old chamomile, and this is the fresh chamomile. Can you tell the difference? I don't know if you can. This one has no aroma. It's brown, looking dead. This one is so aromatic, nice and bright in yellow. Okay, so this is no good. All right, so dry herbs, 2 years, that's it. All right, so chamomile, because it's also great for relaxation, to help your body naturally to relax and let your body heal, okay? So those are the two things. Also, catnip, because all of the healing and restoration takes place when we are sleeping. So catnip is wonderful for that as well. And I'm going to be adding it to my pile as well. How much? I don't know, like a big handful like this, okay? Just like everything else. All right. Creeping Charlie. You guys seen my video. If you are interested to watch those videos of me collecting and preserving those herbs, I will list them all in a description box. But Creeping Charlie is growing all over your backyard, that annoying herb, but it's really good for cold, for cough, for congestion. A little bit more, okay? So that is really, really good. It's really good anti-inflammatory, for upset stomach. So Creeping Charlie goes here as well. Next, it's going to be holy basil. Holy basil is also great for stress, for anxiety, for inflammation. Oh, it smells so good. It smells so amazing. I love holy basil. Holy basil, Tulsi, same thing. I like to write down a quick list of the common uses for herbs when I do this. So it's really good for headaches, okay? With flu, cold, we have headaches. Bronchitis, anti-inflammatory, it reduces fever. So it's great. So it goes here as well, okay? Then mint. You know, mint helps you to kind of like take that breath. It freshens you up. It's a cooling agent. So mint goes here as well. All right. So I'm going to put, oh, this mint. Oh, it's fantastic. It's so good. Oh my goodness, so good. Mint is fantastic when you have cold and flu. Then I'm going to be putting yarrow. Yarrow is really good for stopping the bleeding, right? But also it is a fever reducing agent. So I'm going to be putting some yarrow in here. This jar, it's not cooperating. Oh, too much. It's not cooperating with me, but it is really good for headaches, inflammation, and for reducing temperature. Okay. You also know that when somebody who is dealing with cold and flu, usually there's cough involved. So I'm going to be adding some mullein. And here is a precaution with mullein. It is so soft and fuzzy, but if you really look at it microscopically on the leaf, like under the microscope, it's full of tiny little needles. So it is very important that you strain it and strain it well. Do not drink tea or infusion with mullein still in the cup, okay? It has to be strained away. So I'm going to be adding good amount of mullein here as well. It's super fluffy, super light, okay? So it's going into my combo as well because it's really good to soothe the bronchial tree, to soothe your cough. All right. I have dead nettle. Dead nettle is often used for cold and flu and congestion. Oh, it smells so good. It has little flowers on it and everything. So dead nettle is going to go here too. All right. When we're fighting any kind of infectious, such as viral infections, we need high vitamin C amount. And yes, we can put lemon into our infusions. That's a wonderful thing to do. But also we can add rowan berry. Rowan berries are wonderful. Let me see if I can open this. Yes. So rowan berry is going to go in here as well. They dried rowan berries. Okay. And we're also going to be adding rosehips. Rosehips are very high in vitamin C. And again, rosehips have to be absolutely strained from our tea or our infusions. Very important, because those little seeds that they have they have little unfriendly fuzz that we need to strain away. And elderberry. I have dried elderberry. It's really good for me, boosting your immune system and help you to fight whatever you're fighting. Okay, I'm going to be putting, come on, a little bit here as well. All right, so all of my stuff is mixed in here. Okay, and I'm going to be putting it all into a big jar. Now listen, if you want to, you can put this into a food processor and kind of like break it up a little bit, so it will be easier for you to kind of like use it. But I don't mind when it's in little clumpy leaves like this. I actually enjoy it. If you could only smell my kitchen right now, it smells so earthy and so yummy. This mint really did it. Okay, so I'm gonna put all of it into a very dry, clean jar. Okay, because it's all gonna be stored in this jar. I'm gonna try not to make mess out of it. And you can make a little or as much as you need to, but I'm gonna do this in a big one because we have a family, and when you're not feeling well, you need to drink lots of fluids, right? So I am suggesting that we should be making a lot of it and sip on this infusion throughout the day, 3-4 times a day, 3-4 cups a day. Okay, so let me just put all of this in here. I'm making a mess, but it's okay. And the next thing I want to show you is to actually how to make this tea, or as I call it, infusion. One thing that I usually add to my mix, but I didn't have any because I used it all up during Thanksgiving season, was thyme. And what I just did, I went online and I ordered through Frontier Co-op. I ordered some thyme, organic thyme, and once it arrives, I'm going to add it here as well. If you want to see the list of the herbs that I included in this video, I'm going to put it all in the description box. All right, so let's make some tea. I can't forget to label this as well. So I'm just going to label this that it's going to be for winter 2026. It's upon us. And we're just going to pray that this is going to help to heal our bodies, because the herbs are there to serve us and to support our bodies in a time of need. I like to make it enough for a few doses throughout the day, but right now I'm just going to make it in 1 cup. So this fits right over, and the dose, and I shouldn't even use that word dose because it's really not the dose, I should say. I like to take a tablespoon worth of an herb like this, dried herb, put inside the strainer and fill it up with freshly boiled water, okay? All the way to the top. Now listen to this. If I let this sit open just like this, it's going to steam away and I'm going to lose lots of the goodness through the steam. I don't want to do that. So I just use a little plate, a little saucer, right over, put that right over and let it sit, okay? Better yet, grab a clean towel, a tea towel, and put it over. Okay, now let this sit and steep. You want this to steep for a little bit. Okay, how long? At least 15 minutes. If you can steep it a little longer, 20, 25 minutes, see, it's gonna sit in this little cozy and do its infusion. So it's gonna become an infusion, okay? Slow, kind of like hot extraction. It's not a strong infusion that if you did it overnight or if you did it for several hours. This is a quick one, okay? But it's still gonna give you a little bit better medicinal property than just a regular tea bag that you dunked for a few minutes in the boiling water. Okay, so I like to use this method anytime when I'm making an infusion of a home remedy. So it's labeled. I'm going to hide it away from the sunlight because herbs don't like to be broken down in the sunlight, and in my pantry away from the window. And let's make an infusion. So let it sit and infuse for some time. See, the color is beginning to change beautifully, but like I said, cover it up and let it sit for a while. As always, honey is a really important thing to have on hand right now in the winter months. We're very blessed because we have our own bees, and this is raw, unfiltered honey. I think it's from last year, actually. Beautiful honey. Honey has good anti-inflammatory properties already, so that very important to keep on hand. Okay, so if you're going to buy it at the store, please look for a local source from a local beekeeper. Keep local businesses working and help them out, because what you're buying at the store is not exactly medicinal or what is good for you. Now, I showed you a lot of these herbs. All of these herbs I have grown myself, or I have harvested and I foraged myself. However, if you're not able to do so, you always can go on any herbal shop online and type in what you're looking for. I did buy this from, actually in Latvia when I was visiting. I bought this specific tea, immune support tea. And it's good to have other things that I'm unable to grow myself. So I was able to bring something for my family. Have herbal books on hand. And there are so many. There are so many. If you're interested to know which ones I like to use, I will put up a video in the description box. Go ahead, scroll down, and you will find my favorite herbal books that I like to use. It's very important that you have them on hand in printed version, not digital. We have internet today, and we may not have internet tomorrow. What else? What else? Yeah, just old school herbs. That's how our ancestors treated our grandparents and our parents, and they survived really bad influenza periods and everything like that. 20 minutes later, let's take a look. You got nice and rich in color. Okay, beautiful. Look at that. Squeeze all that goodness out. We always flavor with a little bit of wonderful honey. And you can put as little or as much as you want to, and enjoy a few times a day. This will be a good support for your body to naturally fight the viruses that are around right now. It's still hot because it was covered by a towel. Very mild, very pleasant. It's good. So friends, I hope you are encouraged to learn more about herbs, read about herbs, grow herbs, harvest herbs, forage for herbs, make a combination of different herbs to support your body to fight viral infections such as cold and flu. So friends, I hope you are not afraid to look after natural medicine. So be encouraged and try something new.